Hi, it's Christina with the Sisyphean Journal. Today is September 23rd. We have two anniversaries today, one that I already covered in instances where doctors decided to use the antiquated and dangerous saline abortion method and ended up killing the patient along with her baby. The first one that I already covered was from 1971, where you could almost say they had an excuse because saline had only been discredited for about 10 years. But today's death, it was 1995. They had plenty of time to know better than to do this. This was the case of a Wisconsin math teacher. Linda was 35 when she went to Sinai Samaritan Medical Center in Milwaukee for an abortion on September 21st of 1995. So here she is. She's going to a hospital. She's expecting that she's going to be safe. Linda and her husband Dennis had married in 1993 and planned to start a family. Linda learned that she was pregnant in June of 1995, but in September she found out that her baby had Down syndrome. Now, Linda's aunt had Down syndrome, and Linda thought that that meant no life. Now, sadly, again, women get scared into these fetal indications abortions because they're given a very inaccurate picture of how people with disabilities live. In 1995, things are very different from when Linda's aunt would have been born. They understand early intervention now. They understand how to bring out the best in these children, but it seems like Linda didn't understand that. So she checked into the hospital. A fourth-year resident named Karen Watson administered an amnio infusion. Now, the news coverage didn't say which specific amnio infusion they used. The most common was saline, but sometimes they'd also use prostaglandin. But Linda reported pain and said she was burning up all over. That is consistent with a botched saline abortion. Now, how is a saline abortion done? They take one of those gigantic amniocentesis needles, pull out as much amniotic fluid as they can, and replace it with a very strong sterile salt solution. This gets in the baby's eyes and nose and mouth. The baby swallows it, and it just it causes the baby's blood vessels to break down, and the baby bleeds to death internally. So the baby, if the mother gets this in her bloodstream and feels like she's burning up all over, that's what the baby feels when during one of these abortions, like burning up all over. The supervising physician, Daniel Gilman, for some reason injected more chemicals into Linda's uterus. Linda's husband's attorney said that the two injections caused the heart damage that killed Linda 36 hours after the first injection. And heart damage is one of the things getting saline in your bloodstream can cause. Watson did not use ultrasound to guide the needle when injecting the poison into Linda, and it seems that she injected the saline directly into Linda's bloodstream instead of to the amniotic sac. So instead of the baby writhing in pain, it was Linda. The defense said there was no negligence, and then the hospital claimed that Gilman was responsible for the death because he performed the second injection and was supervising Watson, and Gilman couldn't be named in the suit because the statute of limitations expired before Linda's husband filed. And news coverage does not indicate why they decided to use this antiquated, high-risk method. And I'm sorry to say this, but with abortion, the main thing is getting the baby dead. The woman's safety is secondary, and that was the case with Linda. There's also one more death today that was from 1899, showing how it was not as simple as pro-choicers would have you think to hide the bodies from botched criminal abortions.